Richard Jefferson became an analyst, and this is what happened. I went to read the comments about Richard Jefferson being a commentator. PDT_CD1719 sounds like a robot name, says, well, we are in the AI era. Richard Jefferson is the Tony Romo of the NBA broadcasting. These guys honestly make broadcast better, which is tough for a broadcaster to do so regularly. So happy they're just getting started. Boo you dead. Says, man keeps it real. Gotta respect it. Thor Lolita says, RJ is great. He is a good balance combo of personality and ball knowledge. Tenacious Deer does not agree. He says, maybe great is too strong for now, but he's above average. Mad_Regal says, I've never laughed more while watching an NBA game than last night. The RJ Eagle combo is next tier NBA commentator. JT00 says, you need to watch more RJ and Iron Eagle games. They are like this every game. Unfortunately, this year we haven't had them together as often as last year. I definitely agree. I do love when RJ would do broadcasts with Iron Eagle. Like, they are so funny together. Deleted account says, was laughing pretty hard last night when he talked about Claxton being a natural blonde. Big Heart, not going to read the rest of your name, says Eagles reply how blondes have more fun was hilarious. D-Rose Burner, which I doubt D-Rose would ever have a burner account, says he's really paving the way for recent ex-players to become commentators. JT00 is back and says, the problem is not many players are both knowledgeable and witty like RJ. Legendary Venusaur, nice name, says a lot of players tend to mumble, i.e. Paul Pierce. RJ is really clear when he speaks. Fit Blue Jay 2216 says, congrats RJ, I enjoy his commentary. And Ianic RR, top 1% commenter, good for you, says, I think he's a bit of a tryhard at times. Always got to get a joke in, but he's generally above average in terms of available talent. And let me just say, I love Richard Jefferson as a commentator. He cracks me up. I love that he's constantly making jokes. Like, I like to laugh. Deleted account says, he's so witty and funny. Hated him on the nets as a former Raptors fan, but he's so good on the mic. Not gonna read your name, you almost got me. But this guy, or girl, says, what made you change from Raptors fan to OKC? Call it pointless, nice name. Says, my guess the Raptors started winning. It is clear he is a reverse bandwagoner. Decent Plastic, what a name there, says, the Nets have absolutely the best broadcaster. I watch so many League Pass games and it astonishes me how bad other teams' announcers are. And I'm not going to talk bad on other teams' announcers, but like I said earlier, RJ and Iron Eagle are hilarious together. Like, I think they're both really good commentators on their own. So when they're together, so funny. Foul Bachelor for Life. Oh, just Foul Bachelor Life, sorry. Either way, good name, funny name. You guys have no clue how awesome it is to have RJ as a color analyst. Dude is crazy, crazy. Tony Hawk on the Reddit page here, Tony Hawk 8 says, bro, just an analyst. Zig XY, top 1% commenter, said we're not in the 50s anymore. And if you guys don't get this joke, a color analyst is a term for a type of analyst. Like, it has nothing to do with the color of your skin, which is why they were commenting that, just in case anybody's confused, because like, this is not anything disrespectful, at least not the way I read it. Like, he legit is a color analyst. Like, that is his title. Maybe now it's changed, you know, since this comment 5 years ago, but like, he was one, and there's nothing wrong with being one. It's a good title. I'm just explaining because I'm sure some people are going to be like, what? It has nothing to do with skin color. Bioger Balkan says, I blank love RJ. Rusketeer, nice name, 34, so is it possible to hate RJ? This guy says a bunch of Knicks fans got upset when he said he got an offer from the Knicks and he knew it was pretty much time to retire. I thought it was pretty funny. Slenderman GG1 says people on here don't like any of the commentators except for Mike Breen, Kevin Harlan, and that one guy who does Hornets game. It's funny when you go into a game thread because the comments are 45% complaining about the refs, 45% complaining about the commentators, and 10% talking basketball. That is true. People will always have something to complain about. Like, no matter what, it doesn't matter what you say, what you do, someone will complain. Latman says he's good on ESPN, but much better on Yes, where he has more freedom to joke and clown around with Iron Eagle. And Rhymes with Tag, okay, we'll have to figure out your name, says, y'all watched the Clippers Jazz game he covered? Iron really said the Utah Jazz never made the NBA final. All right, sometimes mistakes happen. Like, I've caught commentators, you know, or analysts making mistakes on the broadcast. Sometimes they correct it, sometimes they don't. Like, it's hard. You have to realize how hard it is to talk basketball the whole game and not make a single mistake. I'm just here, you know, editing my video by myself, and sometimes I will misspeak and say something incorrect, even though when I go back, I'm like, oh, whoops, that's not what I meant. I meant to say this, and this is the correct answer, but sometimes it's hard. There's a lot of information, okay? This guy says when he started, he had good humor and a decent insight into behind the curtain stuff. Now he is just lazy and repetitive. That's harsh. And Joe Donut, okay, I like your name, and you have an egg as your picture, good for you. Says, you're saying he's gone downhill? Deleted account says, I like him quite a bit. I think he's funny, and he brought something out of both Doris and Breen. He really makes Doris laugh, and Breen picks on him, which I adore. I enjoy. I said adore. Big Baller Tormund says, yeah, the smart move was to promote as many ex-players to become commentators as they can, but based on merit. So only ex-players who actually commentate well stick around. Then you've got a solid number of good ones in the rotation. Choose the best 3 or so and market players only. I don't agree with his last sentence though. Like, I don't see Chris Webber on the broadcast as often as you see Reggie Miller, unless like I feel like Chris Webber is not always on, but I feel like Reggie Miller is always on with Kevin Harlan. I love that combo, by the way. Like, next year, apparently, they're not going to be together because one of them is going to Amazon, one of them is going to, I guess, another company. I guess one of them is going to NBC or whatever, but the point is, like, I love that combo, but I love Reggie Miller as a commentator. Like, I thoroughly enjoy listening to his commentation. Is that even a thing, his commenting? So, like, I definitely don't agree with that. Again, Chris Webber is not on the broadcast as often, so I don't really have an opinion on Chris Webber, but like Reggie Miller, I think he's a top tier analyst. P-Skills43, top 1% commenter, good for you, said yesterday when he was talking about Cantor getting all the rebounds, he said put a body on that big Turkish boy. Dude is talking about whatever he wants. And the throwback jersey says, the trick was to get a charismatic player to commentate. The dude is hilarious. Neb Krebs says Jefferson is hilarious. He's not an amazing analyst, but he does enough. Plus, he's willing to make jokes about anyone or anything. Yeah, that's what I love about him. Like, he just starts cracking jokes, and obviously there are lines you don't cross, but like, he's willing to, toe the line. Excaliburs says, the thing I like about RJ is you can't tell he is joking from his tone. To me, he sounds like he's saying something serious, but you got to really listen to what he says to catch his jokes. Somehow this makes it even funnier to me. I actually do enjoy that about him too. Like, some people, unfortunately, like just the way that their brain works, they can't read between the lines, if that makes sense. And so jokes fly over people's head. I mean, jokes fly over my head too sometimes. I'm not gonna act like they don't, but like for Richard Jefferson, like his style of comedy, like that, the way this guy is describing, I do enjoy that because like it does make it funny because you have to just decipher what he's saying. I'm gonna leave it at this one last. Remote Molasses, ooh, a good name to end it off on. 6192 says, we'll literally never understand why people get so bent out of shape over announcers, to be honest. Like, why even care about this? And Booby, you got me. Well, you know what, that's not really, well, no, that's a buoy in the water. I was gonna say, there's buoys in the water, those things that like prevent the boats from like, whatever. But anyway, Brown says, also, he's really not that bad and pretty funny in my opinion. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and see you next time.